What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814EDC, and today I am kind of just checking in with you guys. It's been, I think, like 2 to 3 weeks since I posted a video. I can actually look right here. I'll refresh my page because I haven't yet today. But yes, it's been 13 days since my last video, so it's been a little bit. I apologize for, the delay in videos, but I just had a lot going on. Basically a couple days before Christmas to the New Year. Just different things with family members, friends, whatnot. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to sit down and record a video. So this is officially my first video of 2023. So I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas and a fantastic New Year with your friends, families, loved ones, all that. I know I did. Christmas time is one of my favorite times of the year. Everybody getting together, and like the week from Christmas to New Year's is just, I don't know, it's like a top tier week for me throughout the year. I always look forward to it, stuff like that. So like I said, I just wanted to get on here, welcome you guys to the new year. Like I said, I hope you guys have had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I just want to quickly kind of give you a little update. Some knives that have come in. I want to give you a little bit of a, quote unquote Christmas haul that I probably should have filmed like on Christmas or a couple days after Christmas, but better late than never, like I say. So I got 3 knives for Christmas and a 4th Swiss Army knife, or a Victoria knife, excuse me. So the first knife that I got, so these 3 knives were from my parents, and then the Victorinox was from my awesome fiance. The first knife that I got is the Quiet Carry Chase. This is the newer, rendition or newer model that came out with the thumb studs. I believe the first one had a hole. So this was on my Christmas list. Really, really cool. You have the stone washed LC200 blade right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. The blue G10, kind of like a stone blue, has a little bit of gray mixed in. Loop over style deep carry clip. This thing's on washers, and I need to tune it up a little bit because it has kind of, the pivot is loosened a little bit from me carrying it and flicking it. But overall, the washers have broken really nicely. And I was, I figured I'd like the knife, but I really have been kind of blown away by it. Fit and finish is awesome. Feels great in the hand. You kind of have a little bit of a choke up point here. But the G10 is really nicely done. It's lightweight. It's about 3-inch blade, which is right in my sweet spot. It's nice, very usable carry. So I'm very excited for this. Can't wait to add, more quiet carries to the collection, which I'll hit on later. I have a little update about another quiet carry knife, but yeah, the Chase is awesome. Quiet Carry's G10 is really nice. It has like a good texturing to it. It's not like overly aggressive, but it also is not like slick. So I really like that. But yeah, overall, this is a really cool knife. And I've been wanting to get into quiet carry for quite a while. So I finally have one for the collection. And then, like I said, there's another thing that I want to hit on later on, but that was the Chase. Next up, I got the Kaiser Mini Beg Lighter in Frag Tie and M390. So that is really cool. This has been one that I've wanted for a while, and I finally was able to snag one for the collection, courtesy of my parents. But the D10 is super, super snappy. The D10 is just one of the snappier knives I have in my collection. It fires out of there. So you guys can see it drops. There is virtually no blade play. Very smooth. It is a small knife. I believe this is, I think, right around 2.8-inch blade, but it's a hollow grind. It's very thin behind the edge. Nice loop over style deep carry clip, but it is titanium. So it's one of those cool ones that Kaiser does where it's a loop over clip, but it also is kind of like a milled clip at the same time. I really like how they did that. It's, more fancier and more premium feeling than their just standard loop over style clips that, go on a lot of their knives nowadays. But there it says Beg Lighter Mini. It's an Anzo design, M390 right there. And this thing is awesome. It fits great in the hand. I can still get all 4 fingers on here pretty comfortably. It doesn't have any choke up point. I guess you could use this little area as a choke up point if you're going to be doing something very precise. But this thing's awesome. I really was happy with this. I unboxed all these, I unwrapped all these Christmas morning, and then I went to my fiance's for Christmas dinner that evening, and this was the first one that I carried. and, you know, opened some packages, popped open a few zip ties. It did a really good job, and I'm really excited for this one. Like I said, it's been one that I've wanted for a while. It's been on the, you know, want list for quite a while. And at first, these were hard to come by. Like, I don't know where, you know, if they were in stock at sellers or if there was just a shortage of them. They were kind of like an under the radar sort of release, in my opinion, from what I can remember. But as of recently, or more recently, they came out with a blacked out frag tie version with a black wash, and it's a 20 CV blade. So kind of like a sister to this knife. But yeah, I'm a really big fan. And honestly, like, I think I'm going to, you know, talk about this in my review of it whenever I get to it. But I have never handled a tactile Rockwall. I've wanted the golf ball pattern one that they did for about a month and a half. It was like a limited edition one they did for a month and a half, something like that. I never got one. I'm still looking on the secondary here and there, maybe to find one, because I really like the dimpling pattern they did on that, of course, for a golf ball. But like, I keep thinking, like, this is roughly the same size as the Rockwall. So like, this might fill the role of the Rockwall for me. I mean, maybe sometime I can get one in the channel if I don't end up buying one, just to check one out, just to compare. But at, you know, obviously it's not made in the USA, so you have to take that into effect. But for like half the price of the Rockwall, like, this is a really, really good knife, and I think it fits that role for me very well because they're roughly around the same sizes. I think the Rockwall blade length is 2.84. I don't know why that stuck out to me. But yeah, these just, I mean, this fits that role as a tiny, you know, full tie knife very, very well. And obviously this has liners and stuff like that, but it's very lightweight, and it's very premium feeling. So I'm very happy with the way this feels in hand, you know, fires out, closes. It's a really, really cool knife. So that is the Kaiser Mini Begleiter in frag tie and M390. Super, super cool knife. And then next up, we have the Spyderco Spidey Chef. I was kind of a late, you know, bloomer to liking this knife. It's been around for a while, and I always knew about it, but more recently, it was kind of one that kept catching my eye. And I was like, man, I really want to try that out, because I was kind of, you know, getting a little bit deeper into Spyderco. I don't know why. I just wanted to try more of their models. Obviously, I have the Para 3, the Sage 5 lightweight, and I had the PM2, which the PM2 wasn't for me, but I wanted to try some of their, you know, titanium, more premium, their Taichung models. And this is the Knife Joy exclusive version. So it's the same blade steel. You have LC200N, but then you get anodized blue scales, which looks really, really cool. And for a washer knife, very similar to the Chase that I showed earlier, this is breaking in very nicely. It was super gritty. Like, you could hear something in the pivot whenever I would, you know, shortly after I unboxed it, and it would get, after I fidgeted with it for about a minute, it would get super gritty and restrictive almost. So I did take it apart, cleaned it up, tossed some KPL on there, and I mean, there's a smidgen of blade play that I might have to fix, but I like how it drops like this. And you know, for a washer knife, it's very smooth, very glassy feeling. You can middle finger flick it. It's a good slow roll. You can thumb flick it. Now you do have, because it is a Schleich design logo right there. Marcin Schleich, I think is how you pronounce his name, who's done like obviously the Spidey Chef. I think he did the Techno 2, the Bowie, which is another popular high-end Spyderco, Taichung Taiwan right there. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so you have the lock bar that, you know, obviously covers part of the hole over here, but as a lefty, you can still middle finger flick it well. And if you get your thumb in there the right way, you can still thumb flick it. But it's a pretty lightweight knife for being a full titanium build, and the ergos are fantastic. Obviously, you know, it's supposed to replicate a kitchen knife, so you have a big sweeping kind of belly. It's good for like chopping, but I really, really enjoy this. And it's basically rust proof, which is cool because I have 2 rust proof knives in the collection now, both with LC200N, which is my first rendition of this knife, my first experience with it. So I'll have to, you know, learn, you know, some qualities about it. I think from what I've heard, it's decently tough, but I don't know if the edge retention is good or vice versa. So I'll have to look into that a little bit, but again, it's rust proof. So it'll be great for me in the summer because I do sweat a lot, and I don't want to be rusting any of my knives, but super comfortable. Love the loop over style wire clip that they have on here. I love wire clips, especially Spyderco's, just because they're so, basically flat. They're flush with the knife. It is reversible. I'm sure I could toss a lynch clip on here. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but for right now, I really like the clip, and all the hardware is PVD coated or DLC coated black, so it contrasts very nicely. Now, I did have the idea of, and I actually found this on Instagram, I forget the guy's name, but it was a page I found, and he mods Spidey chefs. And the mod that I saw is he turned this blade into a harpoon blade, and then he added jimping here so you could front flip it. And I really liked the idea of that. It looked very cool in the video that he posted. And I think I might eventually send this off to him just because it adds a little bit more fun factor to this knife, makes it a little bit more fidgetable, which I'm already enjoying how it fidgets now. But it was cool and unique, and I really liked the combination of the harpoon with the front flipper. And I've also looked on this page, and he could do different types of blade shapes. So maybe eventually I'll send this out to him, but for now I'm going to enjoy the knife for what it is, and enjoy it for its normal state before I get it modded or anything like that. But super cool. I'm super happy to have the Spidey Chef in the collection. So those 3 knives are for my parents. I'm very blessed. I have a joke, like the last 2 or 3 years, ever since I've gotten into pocket knives. And if you guys don't know, I also collect Lego sets. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. So I have that nerdy side of me, and I was a huge Lego fan as a child. And then I kind of went through the dark phase, or the dark zone. I forget what people call it, but it's basically where you quit, collecting, quit building. It's like a, period of time before you get back into it. And I've heard different people talk about it, in the Lego communities and stuff like that. Because I watch a couple different Lego YouTube channels, and, stuff like that. So that's my nerdy side. But more recently, I've been getting back into it, collecting more, stuff like that. And I love everything Star Wars. So basically every Christmas, at least for the last 2 or 3 years, my Christmas list is basically a knife or 2 and then some Lego sets. But this year I put, I think, 5 or 6 knives and like 5 or 6 Lego sets on there. So my parents could kind of mix and match, what they wanted, because the last 2-3 years I put specific knives and specific Legos. So I wanted to be kind of surprised this year, and it worked out really well. But, and yes, if you're wondering, I still do make a Christmas list. It's just easier on my parents. It's easier. I actually make a Christmas list for my parents and for my, soon to be in-laws. It's just easier that way. It's easier to give ideas, you get things you want, stuff like that. So, I am going to be 24 years old. It's now January 3rd. I'm going to be 24 later this month. But yeah, no shame if you still make a Christmas lists. It's just easier. It's just, better, I guess. So those 3 were for my parents. And then my fiance, still have trouble saying that sometimes, got me a Victorinox Pioneer with my name, 814 EDC, engraved on it. She got me the ALOX version, which is really cool, full blacked out. I'm really a big fan of this. This is the first Victorinox that I've ever handled. And I like the Pioneer just because it looks slim and you get a nice size blade. Try to get it out of here. So you get the typical blade on here. I think it just says Swiss made stainless. But I did cut a few packages open with this and try the paper test, and it's very sharp. But it's very mirrory, which takes fingerprints very easily, which kind of bugs me, but it's something I'll have to learn about and deal with. You also have on here, close the blade. So you have I think you can use this as a flathead, and then I think this is, actually I don't know what this is, because these things look very similarly to one another. So I know one of these is a bottle opener. So I think this is the bottle opener, and this might be the can opener. And then you have a flathead screwdriver up here, and then a smaller flathead, or like a little, I don't want to say Torx, but it's a smaller flathead. And then here is I think these are called reamers, which I'm not 100% sure what you do with this. Like I said, this is my first Swiss Army knife, and I wanted to, get into one and learn more about it. But this is a reamer, I believe is what this is called. Again, don't know exactly what they do. So if you guys are into Swiss Army knives and you know what all these tools are, please educate me. But yeah, let me know what this is, and then let me know what the difference is between, like I said, I think this is a can opener and the other one is a bottle opener, but don't hold me to that. So yeah, I just wanted to get a good model for my first Victorinox, my first sack, and my fiance was lovely enough to engrave it. So this is going to be a forever piece for me. I think I'm going to reach out to Troy over at Northwoods Leatherworks Co. He made the slip for my bear, which is out of reach right now, otherwise I'd grab it. When his books are starting to be open again, and see if he can make me a cool slip for this. Maybe like an all black slip, or something really classy, because I don't want to just throw this in my pocket and obviously it's made for being carried in your pocket and stuff like that, but I did take the keychain off, and I just like to keep it nice, and I really like the slip he made me for my bear, so I think it would look nice in something else that he made, so I can just drop it in there and carry it. But yeah, that is the Victorinox Pioneer, ALOX Pioneer, excuse me, from my fiance, and that was my EDC haul for Christmas. Very, very blessed. I was very happy with everything I got this year, and these are pieces that I don't ever think are going to leave the collection. So yeah, that was my little Christmas haul, my little update that I should have made a week ago for you guys, so I apologize that I've been in the dark for so long. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on that, and then some other updates. So I got this in, I think it was yesterday or the day before. This is, might be to see the logo there, if I can get the light right. It's pretty hard because it's pretty soft in the leather, but this is the Kvist Bladeworks Vanish prototype, the little slip joints that he did. I believe the pre-order or the Kickstarter for these are over. I did not pick one up just because I wanted to chase other things, and I already have one slip joint in the collection. I don't really carry slips all that often. Now I technically have two with this the sack, but Jacob was still very kind enough to send this my way to check out. Walk and Talk is really good. It is a very small knife. I believe this is like a 2.5-inch blade, but I can still get all 4 fingers on here, which is pretty awesome to, the ergos on this. It is 20 CV, right there. 20 CV, you guys can catch the light correctly. And like I said, I think the pre-order is already done on these, or the Kickstarter. It was leading up till Christmas, I think, somewhere in there. But yeah, the Walk and Talk is really good. I believe QSP made these. Very small, very slim knife. So be on the lookout for a full review of this, or a full overview. Now I think these are coming with little slips, and you could also have upgraded to Northwood Leatherworks Co. slips for like $30 extra, which I would suggest. These aren't bad, but it can fall out easily, and I feel like Troy's is just a little bit better made because he takes the time. But to get a slip included in with your knife, that's cool too. It's definitely better than not getting anything. And this leather is nice. I just wish it was a little bit maybe tighter because it just kind of falls out of there. But yeah, so I have that in. And then other news, speaking of Kvist Bladeworks, I sold a couple of my budget knives. I sold the Voss Raccoon. I sold the CV Hadros, which I forgot I had. It was buried in my knife box. So I sold that. And then I sold my Variant PE, my original one with the fat carbon scales. I sold all 3 of those, and then I took that money and turned it into a pre-order of the new Variant PE3, which you guys have seen my full review on, or overview. I really was happy with that, and as much as I liked my Variant PE, my original one, and as much as I liked the fat carbon scales, I just wanted the PE3 is going to be the ultimate edition of the Variant. Full tie scales, hollow grind, 20 CV, front flipper. It's just a really, really good knife, and I was very, very happy with it. So I ended up, like I said, sold 3 knives and then turned it into the Variant PE3 pre-order, which unfortunately is not going to be coming until probably May or June, which sucks for pre-orders, but that's just how it is. So I'll be on the lookout for that. And then what else? I traded my Demco 80-20.5 in full tie and 3V, the Knife Center exclusive. I was looking to sell it to put towards other stuff, but then a guy reached out asking for trades, and I ended up trading him for a Quiet Carry Waypoint, the full stonewash version, which I'm very happy to get in. It should be getting here later today. I keep looking for the mail lady to drop it off because I want to go down and check it out. But yeah, I ended up trading it through a Facebook trade, one of the Facebook groups. And you guys know I've wanted the quiet carry for a very long time. Full tie, Van X, hollow grind, wire clip, just a really, really cool carry. Especially once I got Kevin's in to check out from Left EDC. I've really wanted it, so it was a good trade for me. I liked the Demco, and I really enjoyed it. I just didn't carry it that much, and I feel like the reason I held on to it for so long is just kind of the nostalgia of, or the fact that it was, you know, the designer Andrew Demko is from, you know, like an hour away from where I'm at in Pennsylvania. So I feel like that was kind of a reason for holding on to it as long as I did. But it's a good knife, but I think I'll just enjoy the quiet carry a little bit more. And now I have 2 quiet carries in the collection, both rust proof, both awesome washer knives, and I cannot wait to get that in. So I think that's all for the update. Like I said, talk to you guys what I got for Christmas. You know, this is the only knife that I have in right now for review. I got a couple coming in soon through some pass rounds through the Apex and the Lefty pass round, so be on the lookout for that. I'm probably not going to film an unboxing of my Waypoint, but I might do a like a reel for you guys. But yeah, I think that's everything. I don't think I'm really missing anything else knife wise. Oh, one other thing, the Fox Dapper Blade HQ exclusive that I had in. I really like that knife, but unfortunately I stripped the screw when I tried to. It was starting to be really gritty after I flicked it for, if you flicked it for 10 or 15 times, it would get really gritty and really restrictive when you were fidgeting with it. And I reached out, all right, so I tried to strip the screw, I tried to take the knife apart, strip the screw. So I reached out to Blade HQ asking if they could get me into contact with the correct factory to, you know, get it fixed. And they said, yeah, but then they also mentioned that you could get, you know, there's like a 90-day return policy. You get your money back. So I ended up making the choice to send it back to Blade HQ. They are going to give me my money back and a credit. And then I'm planning on turning that credit into a Fox F8 Chillin' or Chillin' F8, which I've seen a lot of different hype around the community. Kevin over at Left EDC has talked very highly of his. So that's one that's been on my list for a little while, pretty much ever since it came out. So about a month and a half, but that's what I'm planning on using that for. So that was the last knife update that I wanted to give you guys. But yeah, so that's really everything, guys. I do have a review to film for this week that I've been putting off, so I need to do that. And then, yeah, so definitely 2 videos this week, hopefully more next week. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap this video up, guys. It's been 22 minutes. That's been quite a while for me to talk. If you stayed this long, let me know what you guys got for Christmas, or, you know, if there's anything that you guys are getting or looking forward to in the new year, knife-wise. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to check the link in the description for Blue Creek Knives. Use my code 814EDC for 10% off of your purchase. Helps you, helps me, helps Brian. It is a win-win-win. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.